Everybody, how are you guys doing? I hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. It has been a while since we have seen each other, but we're back in action and we're here. So if you are new and you don't know who I am, my name is Melissa Jakes. I am CEO and founder of Rescue Event Planning, also known as Olivia Live Events, and we are here live Wednesdays this is the last 8:30 one. Hey Christina. And so usually we're here at 8 o'clock, but today we are here at 8:30. And so moving forward will be at 8 o'clock. So you guys, you know the deal. Invite and share, invite and share, and invite and share, as I am going to do the same. Let me know if you can hear me. Great, I see hearts. That means you can hear me. Yay, yay, yay. As I start a watch party on this end. Okay. And perfect. Did I start it? Hope I did. Okay. Happy Wednesday. Yay. There you go. Start. Watch party. Yeah, so I hope you guys, your Wednesday was great. Here in the DC area, it was about 96, but it felt like 105. So it was hot, very hot today. So wherever you are in the country, I hope you're staying cool, because I was trying to stay cool here in the DMV area. So you guys, today's topic is how to remain sane while planning your event. Which you're like, well, Melissa, that's why I just hired an event planner, because I don't want to deal with it, right? But let's say you cannot afford it, or you want to do this on your own for the first time. So I'm going to give you 3 things that I do to how I remain sane while planning multiple events at one time. That keeps me focused and rejuvenated and still excited about the events, because events are fun and they're great. Depending, with every type of event you're doing, it's a bit different, but it can become very annoying. It can become very tiresome, and where you're like, I quit and I don't want to do this anymore. So I'm going to give you 3 things that I do to keep myself in a positive light and thinking positively, because this event is either going to be your wedding, your baby shower, your book launch, your book signing, your conference, whatever it is. It's a positive thing to be doing. So we want to make sure you're staying in a positive light. Hey, everyone. Hey, Ariel. So, all right, so let's get started. So number 1, the first thing to make sure you stay sane while planning your event is to be organized. Because if you're not organized, you're going to have lots of problems. So how do I stay organized, right? I'm a person that, even though I like to be very techie, there's still an old school way of me. I like to write things down on paper. So I always have lined paper or a notebook near me, either in the car, everywhere I go for meetings. I will pull out a notebook and a pen next to my computer in my office. I'll pull out a notebook and a pen. Oh, thank you so much, Ariel. Hope it rubs off on this Wednesday. So I make sure I have paper next to me, because that's when you're starting to formalize your ideas. And when you're doing your event planning, you're taking notes, you're calling people, you're doing a lot of things. And a lot of things happen at one time. And if you don't have a piece of paper to write things down, forget about it, right? So depending on the person, some people are very techie, and that's fine. I am techie, but I still love my paper and pen. So that's how I make sure I stay organized. And it's just not writing notes down. It's really, when I'm with the client, I'm writing things down, then I go back and I organize my thoughts. So take it back to when we were in high school and you had to do your 5-paragraph essay. When we were learning essays, you had your introduction, you had your 3 paragraphs for your body or your conclusion. but what were you going to write about? And they have that brainstorming bubble where you have things all over the place, right? So make sure you're doing that when you're doing your event planning. So you have all your different thoughts, but now let's organize it down on a piece of paper, right? So that's number one, staying organized, right? Okay, number two is don't forget to ask for help. There is always somebody who's willing to help you for your events. Whether your event is big or your event is small, always have somebody to be there the day of the event, because if you don't, you're one person. You can't do it all. I can't do it all. I always have a team. Whether it's only 50 people, I'm like, hey, I need another person with me as an event staff, right? And so asking for help and consulting with somebody while you're doing the event planning, because it's only your ideas, and always bouncing off ideas to other people helps. So asking for help, whether it's like, hey, I want to run through the program. Does this make sense? Does this sound right? I want to go through want to show you my layout. How does that look? Does this make sense? Does it look right? Always bounce ideas off people, because sometimes we get bogged into our own stuff in our own mind that you're not getting that other 360 view for somebody else, right? So that's number two, asking for help. Don't be ashamed to. I always bounce ideas off of my my husband all the time. He's my soundboard. Does this make sense? Am I making sense? Does it sound right? How does this look? Even though he's like, Melissa, I don't know anything about this. It's just to hear somebody else's thought process to say like, yep, I'm in the right direction, or no, I'm not, right? Okay, and then number three, make sure you do a backwards timeline. And so a lot of people do this if you have your PMP, which is like project management certification or so. And what you do is, if your event is about 90 days out, you start from the day of the event, or you started at day 90 and you work your way back. Okay, so from day 90, what do I need, to day 60, to day 30, and so on, so to day one, right? So everything that you need for the event, you make sure that you do. And so you work it backwards, so you know what you need, what supplies do you need, what help do you need as far as like staff the day of, what do you need from the venue, what do you need from vendors, whatever type of event that you're having, making sure your communication is coming out on time. So all of those things come together, right? So you always work backwards, do that backwards timeline, so you know the day of, you have everything that you need, and you're not running around too much on the day of, because there's still gonna be a little bit of running around, but it's not gonna be too crazy where you totally forgot that you don't have a photographer. Those type of things, and that goes back to number one about writing everything that you would need for an event. And that's where you're really that brainstorming, and then you're formalizing yourself into that when you're going to step three, when you are doing that backwards timeline. Okay, and then a bonus is always consult with an event planner. If your sounding board is the event planner, that's cool. But there's always things that you can talk to an event planner about, or ideas, and maybe even a bonus. Sometimes saying things on Facebook or your social media. I've done that before with about ideas. What do you think about this? If I was to do that, the power of social media is very, very, very powerful. And sometimes asking certain questions, not all questions, but asking certain questions. People have put like different logos when they're starting businesses out on social media and having people vote. It is a smart way to say like, hey, I'm starting a business, or I'm starting this type of business. And it gets people excited and like, oh, I didn't know you did that. And it also is then you're getting honest feedback about a logo before you even really pick which logo it is. So it serves for dual purposes. So the same with the event planning. If it's something about, do you like this swag bag versus that swag bag? Or, I'm asking for a friend when people really aren't asking for a friend, right? So using a soundboard definitely works. But, at the end of the day, I wouldn't be a good event planner if I didn't tell you to consult with an event planner if you're having issues. And there's different ways that different event planners do that. I know what I do offer 15-minute consultations. We walk through stuff. And then I do offer like a power hour session where we're able to see everything you've done and how maybe some areas that you miss, and helping you put things into timelines like runner shows, vendor preferred lists, asking the venue certain questions that you may have not known, your AV, your audio, your technical stuff that's happening at the event. And then just helps you kind of get on a ball rolling where you may not need somebody that day, but just somebody to guide you, and a consultant in a sense to guide you while you're doing your event. So those are 3. I probably gave like 5 ways on how to remain sane while planning your event. And events are fun. Like, I do get a little, I would say, flustered a bit, but that's my enjoyment of events. I love to see that brainstorming paper come out to a beautiful masterpiece on whatever type of event it is. So let me know you guys have any questions. If you're planning events, if you know somebody who is planning an event, or you're like, I always wanted to ask this question about planning events. So let me know, you guys. Just to recap on what we discussed is 1, stay organized. Staying organized is having all your thoughts written down on a piece of paper, then rewrite it down and organize it. Is it the venue, your titles, your speakers, your this, your that? And then you're now formalizing it into a thought. 2 is ask for help. A soundboard, your relatives, whoever, you're asking for help in different ways. Either it's volunteers for the day of, but that definitely volunteers the day of, or a staff member the day of, to make sure your event runs smoothly, because you can't do it by yourself, of course, especially with setup and breakdown, right? And then number 3 is do a backwards timeline of your events. If your event is about 90 days out, 120 days out, then make sure you do that backwards timeline. At day 120 to day 1, what do I need, right? So make sure you do that backwards timelines. And the 2 bonuses that I gave is 1, consult with an event planner, and 2, to then also ask questions or thoughts, or get a soundboard from Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Snapchat. All those social media platforms can definitely give you some insight into things. If you have certain questions, recommendations, a lot of people ask for recommendations on Facebook, specifically because it gives you that like map of so-and-so is asking for recommendations in this area, right? So definitely utilize that because it is great. I've seen a lot of people do some great things, right? So you guys let me know if you have any questions. If it's not about how to how to remain sane while planning an event, but it might be about an event questions. I always open up the floor closer to the end of my live if people have questions about events, events that they're doing, events that they want to do, just general questions, asking for a friend. It might be you. It's okay. Let me know if you guys have any questions. So look on, I know I have my watch party over here and Instagram over there. Oops. So let me know if you have any questions. Thank you, Aria, for your comment. Okay, somebody asks, what platforms do you use to stay organized? So I use about 3 different platforms, and then I'll give my 4th one that's old school. So my old school is I will still write everything down. I write everything down. And I then brainstorm, and I have my whiteboard where I do a to-do list. So things that I need to do. Hey, Rashana. Hey, girl. Hey. I see your text messages. I was going live, so I'll answer them soon. I do my to-do list on my whiteboard so I can stay organized that. And then I also have a notebook that doesn't leave me. It changes once it fills up. that after all my brainstorming is done, then I formalize it in my notebook, which I carry, so I know what I'm talking about, right? So that is one way I stay organized. The three techie ways where I say is more smartphone accessible or computers accessible is I use Asana. Asana is a project base. It's also from the makers of Facebook and Instagram. And it's free. You can add about 15 people on there for free, which, I mean, if it's just you staying organized, then you're good with that, right? So Asana is a project base. You put the project in there, you do almost like your to-do list, but it can then send you reminders to your email saying, hey, these items are due this week. And when it's due that day, hey, reminder, this is due that day. If it's past due and you didn't check it off, it will say this is now a late item. So it will remind you until you check it off, which is great because if you're on the go, it will send you push through notifications on your phone, and it will email you as well. Yes, Rashawn, I write everything down. We have to, because I always go back to my brainstorming notes and be like, oh, that's exactly what I was talking about. And it kind of triggers my memory too, right? So that's one techie way. Another one is called Trello. It's more of like my Pinterest type of organization way, where it moves like a board. And so you're able to say like your to-do list, if you're doing it, and your complete list. So then you're able to kind of see where you are in the process. Some people are visual that way, and they like it versus a long list of items. So I go there sometimes for clients who really are visual versus a to-do list. And then the third way is, which I still use not only for my business, but for myself, is Google Calendar. Okay, don't sleep on Google. I put things in Google to keep me organized and set reminders. And so if it's going to be a day event, if it's going to be like, don't forget to send your invoice in on this day, blah, blah, blah. And so it reminds me to do that. So, and that's free. Actually, all the platforms I've mentioned are free, especially your line paper, that's free. You got to just buy the line paper, that's it, and the pen, I guess. But those are my different three techie ways and one old school way that I stay organized. That was a great question on what tools that I use, how to stay organized while planning an event. Okay, do you guys have any other questions? Put it in the chat. Let me know if you guys are planning any events, soon to be planning. Okay. All right, you guys. So I know if you're watching the replay, put #replay. Great. And also ask your questions if you're watching the replay, because I always go back and I get the notifications, and I'll definitely answer the questions. If you are interested, and my business coach will kill me that I don't have this all lined up, but I'm about to get it for you. I am about to get it for you. Okay, so here we go. Copy. Yay. The power of technology. Okay, so if you are interested in talking to me about your event, you don't technically need me there for your event, but you are wanting somebody to help you think through your event and strategize through your event so that you're fully prepared for your event, then I have a link for you, and then my watch party, I got to get that for you guys too. And so I'll put the link there. It's called a power planning session. And in this session, we take 90 minutes to really dive through your event, walk through front to back, help you with your run of show, give you templates, all of that stuff to make sure your event runs smoothly. Probably even vendors if you don't have vendors, which I have a vendor list, but I include that in the price for that. So if you're truly interested, or if you know somebody's interested, the link is there for you guys. And I will put it in my watch party once I get to that side. It's always hard to do that. Rashana asks, what about my class? Yes, so actually the last day of my EPIC event management certification course ended today. However, we are relaunching in September. So if you are definitely interested, send me a message. I'll make sure that you guys are the first ones to get it when we relaunch it. And it's going to be even greater than this time. And more resources, more tools, you get more for your money. So we are relaunching it the first week of September, actually. So promos will be starting in August. So stay tuned. But if you're truly interested, and you'll see the promos start coming out, all of that stuff. But my EPIC Event Management Certification Program walks through a 4-week program where we walk through how to plan your own event. From start to finish, to vendors, to everything, to all the, basically like you're taking my brain into yours as much as possible. And you can take it, run with it. If you're starting your own business, if you're starting your own event planning business, you go ahead and do it. And those who are part of it then are always, we have this long lasting relationship where I was actually just talking to somebody today where if I have events that I can't take, then and you're in the area, knowing that you've gone through my course, I would definitely recommend you to get that event. And there's no referral fee or anything. That is you, and that could be a long-lasting client, a return client in different ways. So that is one benefit of taking the course. There's definitely lots of other benefits, but there's definitely one big benefit where I am basically giving you referrals for free, because there are some events that I just can't take. I would definitely do 2 events in one day, but doing 2 or 3 events in one day is not really possible for me. However, I definitely can refer them to you because you're certified by me. So I know what's happening, right? So great question. Yes. So stay tuned. In August, promotions will be dropping. Classes start September 3rd, I think is that the actual date for that. So send me a message if you're truly interested in the certification course so I can make sure you get the first notification when it happens. Great. Okay, you guys. I don't like to stay too long because I'm precise and concise and get to the point. So thank you guys so much for joining. If you're watching, please give me hearts. If you're watching the replay, give me hearts, likes, comments, thumbs up, all of that stuff. If you are interested in talking to me with our power planning sessions, please send me a message. I will send you the link. And if you're interested in the EPIC certification program, then send me a message and we'll make sure you are stay tuned to that. If you guys have no more questions, my name is Melissa Jakes. I am CEO and founder of Rescue Event Planning, also known as Olivia Pope of Live Events. And we are here live every Wednesday, now continuing at 8 p.m., where it's called #AskMelissa Wednesdays, all about your event planning needs, wants, dreams, and all. So see you guys later. Have a great evening and talk to you soon. Bye.